All right, Shalom. I want to start out with giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the hopefully elect. And I want to start off in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 1. To everything there is a season and a time, to every purpose under the heaven. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to break down and a time to build up. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to get and a time to lose. A time to keep and a time to cast away. A time to rend and a time to sow. And a time to keep silence and a time to speak. A time to love and a time to hate. A time of war and a time of peace. Okay? And people are not paying attention to the times that we are in. All right? And you can see that based on people's actions. All right? A lot of our people, especially our people, whom are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. By the way, your biblical nationality, you are the Hebrew Israelites according to the Bible. All right? But our people don't know what time we are living in. You see? Great judgment is about to come upon the planet Earth. And you people are running around the earth like this isn't about to take place. Even though the men of the Lord, the servants, the prophets, are out on the highways and byways, letting you know of these things, of what's to come, and trying to give you or show you a way, okay, of what to do or how to protect yourself. You see? Trying to show you the way where you can cover yourself with armor, a way you can, have a defense. But you people shun us. See, you shun the gospel. You shun the true men of the Lord. Okay? You say away with that message. We don't want to hear about that. Everything just opened back up. We're in the time of mirth. We're in the time of joy. We want to party. We want to do this. We want to do that. You see? But the things that's coming, you are not prepared for. Okay? I want to get this, the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 2, it says, "It is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting. For that is the end of all men, and the living will lay it to his heart." Okay? And I'm mentioning this because our people they are not in, a state of mourning. Okay? They're more of in a state of feasting, in a state of feeding their belly, in a state of joy. All right? Now, I'm not saying you can't have fun from time to time. Right? But our people always want to have fun. They always want to just be in this joyous spirit. Okay? And it's okay to do so from time to time. But they're not in a state of mourning. They're not in a state of sorrow. They're not in a state of crying out, of noticing of what is actually taking place on earth. You see? As we liken us, the Lord likens us to a woman, right? The daughter of Zion. All right. As he Salakia, as he likes, to liken us to, that comely, delicate woman of his, right? We are as a woman doing what? We are that woman that is betrothed. Okay? We are that woman that's promised in marriage. We are that woman, that daughter of Zion who's married to the Lord. And we are being, forced upon. All right? And we as that woman are doing what? We are crying out. Speaking of the elect, okay? Speaking in the sense of the elect, we are that woman that's crying out. But the 2/3, they are not as that woman that's crying out, meaning what? They accept what's going on. That's not the word accept, but they're enjoying it. Okay? As we're crying out, as we're continuously going through these days of filth. Okay, we're crying out of different things, the abominations that's being done in the midst thereof, sighing and crying of the abominations that's being done in the midst thereof. Okay, crying out of us wanting peace, us wanting to go home, us wanting to be back in one with our true power. You see, that was just to mention a few. So we are in a state of mourning as well, of crying out. But the rest of our people are in the spirit of what? Mirth. Okay, in the spirit of joy. Okay, so let's read this again. Verse 2, it says, it is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting. And America, Babylon the Great is also known as a place to feast. Okay, people think of America, Babylon the Great, they think of joy and feast, because that's what you can do when you come to Babylon the Great. Have fun, be wicked, and feast. See, all these things are about to come to an end. All right, all these things are about to come to an end. I want to go to the book of Slovakia. Trying to find a scripture. Can't find one as yet. I didn't mean to put cease. I meant to put mirth. All right. Yeah, let's go to the book of Jeremiah. I'll read Hosea chapter 2, verse 11. It says, and I will also cause all her mirth to cease, her feast days, her new moons, and her Sabbaths, and her solemn assemblies. Okay, so this is what happened. The Lord caused all that, to stop. That's what cease means, to stop. So all that joy, okay, all the happy, all the gladness to stop. And see, this is what's about to come to America, Babylon the Great. Right? Jeremiah chapter 25, verse 10. Let's start at verse 9. It says, behold, I will send and take all the families of the north, said the Lord, and Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, my servant, and I will bring them against this land, and against the inhabitants thereof, and against all these nations round about, and I will utterly destroy them, and make them an astonishment, and a hissing, and perpetual desolations. Right? And we know whom Nebuchadnezzar came against. He came and destroyed our land, the land of Jerusalem. Okay, and all that gladness and all that joy that we were into, what happened? Was put to cease, was put to an end. Right? Verse 10, moreover, I will take from them the voice of mirth, and the voice of gladness, and the voice of the bridegroom, and the voice of the bride, the sound of the millstones, and the light of the candle, and the whole land shall be in desolation and in astonishment, and these nations shall serve the king of Babylon 70 years. Okay, because Nebuchadnezzar was given his, time to rule. All right. Now, what's about to come upon America, Babylon the Great? Okay, is all this, this mirth, it's all going to cease. Okay, all going to cease. And the King of Kings, Lord of Lords, with the world ending called Jesus Christ, whose true name is Yahweh Shai, right? He's going to what? He's going to utterly destroy all these nations, okay, round about. Okay, he's going to put them all in subjection under his feet. You see? All the crowns that they got upon them heads, and they think they the big bad wolf, and the rest of the world is the three little pigs, because that's how America looks at everyone else, as he's on top. These Yahweh Shai is gonna let the whole world be known of he's the big man, up under his father, but he's the man. You see? And everyone's gonna go subject to him, as prophecy says. Okay? And then once the children of Israel, once we're back and restored, all you nations are gonna be right up under our feet. Right up under our feet, bowing down, as you're supposed to be. Okay? So it says, then this whole land should be a desolation, which this is going to happen to America, Babylon the Great, and an astonishment, and these nations shall serve the king of Babylon 70 years. And guess what? When it's come to America, Babylon the Great, it speaks about you nations. Y'all going to be serving us forever. All right, let's get this. Let's go to the book of Daniel 7, verse 18. It says, but the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever and forever and ever. You see? Let's go to the book of Daniel chapter 2, verse 40. It says, and the fourth kingdom should be as strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these shall break in pieces and bruise. Right? It's the fourth kingdom representing the Roman Empire. And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, and the kingdom shall be divided, but there should be in it the strength, Salakia, of iron, for as much thou sawest the iron mixed with the miry clay, and as the toes of the feet were a part of iron and a part of clay, so the kingdom should be partly strong and partly broken. And this is where we're at. This is what you see today. Okay? It says, and whereas thou sawest iron mixed with miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay. And in the days of these kings shall the Most High of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed. You see what I'm saying? So this is what's going to take place. We're going to have a kingdom, a rulership under Yahweh Shai, under King David, and I'm speaking, the 144,000. Okay, which shall never be destroyed. Right? Kingdom of Israel. And the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. You see? So all you other, kingdoms and rulerships, okay, that exist right now, y'all gonna be all put in subjection. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. And y'all are never going to be able to be raised up and to rule over the children of Israel ever again. Okay, we talking about complete domination, complete, subjection, right? So that's pretty much the point that I wanted to touch on. I know I kind of, went, switched gears a little bit, but at the end of the day, this place, Babylon, that's had this mirth and this mirth and joyous spirit, all this shit about to come to an end. All right. And it's going to be what? It's going to turn to, this joy and gladness to sorrow and mirth. All right, so I thought I'd just touch on that through the spirit. Lord willing, hoping it was edifying. So next time when I say, Shalom.